So I received a question about pigeon pose from one of our subscribers. So I was just going to do a little short tutorial for you on tips of getting into pigeon, getting out of pigeon, and what you can do if pigeon doesn't feel good for your body, because everybody's body is different. So it's important that we listen to our body. So if it's not for you, there's other ways that we can do the pose. Full pigeon. I've just finished a practice, so I'm completely warm, and pigeon pose is a pose that you wouldn't do unless your hips are nice and warmed up. So pigeon pose, we come into it on our hands and knees, and I like to come into it by sliding the front leg forward and taking the opposite leg back. This is a version that you can do if you find that your knee gets overextended or your hip joint is uncomfortable. You can also put padding underneath your knees. Full pigeon pose, step the toes of the back foot onto the mat and it lifts the back knee off, and then you can slide the opposite heel towards the opposite hip. Now you might come into pigeon pose and you find that your hip is sitting up high, so you can put a cushion under here to balance your hip if that's good for you. So that's full pigeon pose. To come out of it, tuck the toes under and you can step the foot back. You can come into a little down dog here, and then we do the opposite side. So again, back leg goes back, opposite foot to opposite heel. If you are comfortable in pigeon pose, you have got the option of bringing the shin towards the short edge of the mat. The choice is yours for that though. I like to tuck the toes under the back leg. It just helps the traction out the thigh. And if you are walking the foot forward, then this is quite a nice way to do it rather than pushing the foot forward. Take it gradually so you're not overextending. Again, if you find you're sagging into the opposite hip, get some cushions underneath you to prop you up. If you've adjusted your foot forward, again, it's quite nice to just lengthen out the back leg, and that gets you up nice and tall. And then if you're comfortable, you can take yourself forward. So what happens if that is not for you? There's different variations that you can do. You can use a wall and do pigeon standing up. So come to standing, back against the wall. You can raise one foot, make sure that your feet are completely on the mat, not like me. Back against the wall, you can raise one leg up and you can take hold behind the thigh. Great version. But we're not really getting as deep a stretch in the psoas muscle. So if your hips are happy to, what you can do is actually take hold just behind the ankle on one hand, just supporting the outer knee, and you can bring the foot this way. You can also take the hand around and take hold of the ankle here, back against the wall, hips against the wall, and this might be your version of pigeon. You can also do that on the floor. So you can sit your back against the wall, and you can bend the foot, bend the knee and slide the foot up slightly. You can take the foot out, get padding underneath this side, and that gives you a little opening in the inner thigh and in the hip. If you want to lift the leg up slightly, you can do that, or you might even be able to place it on the thigh. Loads of nice padding underneath here though, to protect your knee joint. So cushions, blocks, whatever you can get your hands on are great for supporting your knee. Just propping yourself up and making sure that your low back is against the wall. So hips against the wall, shoulders against the wall, and I'm getting a lovely hip opener here, and I'm not coming into the dreaded pigeon. Hope that's been useful. Keep your questions coming, and I'll see you soon.